to the Sports Mom Playbook.
Welcome to the Sports Mom Playbook, the podcast that takes you behind the scenes with real moms and industry experts for all things sports to help you start or make more use of your time on and off the field.
Get ready for this binge-worthy podcast with some special guest appearances. Laugh along and join us in what we love doing, celebrating the true MVPs of the game, moms.
Let's do this.
Thank you so much and welcome to the Sports Mom Playbook. My name is Rachel.
Hi, and I'm Yuritsa.
And today we are going to be talking about handling travel ball and the expenses that are associated with it and fundraising opportunities to make those expenses maybe a little less.
Minimize them a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, have you seen those episodes or those social media when they step out and it's like a $400 bat and they're like,
Yes.
and then they step out and it's like a $600 glove, and they're just like, oh crap, I'm just going to stay home.
Well, anything sports related, and I really don't think it matters necessarily which sport you're in, it's expensive.
It is. Well, okay, so let's break down the expenses. You're talking about registration fee.
Uh-huh.
Then you're talking about tournament fees.
Right.
You're talking equipment,
Mm-hmm.
uniforms,
Mm-hmm.
cleats, accessories.
Travel, like if you're traveling.
Yeah.
Whether it's
Hotel.
like gas, hotel.
Not only that, but the mom needs all the gear.
You
I'm
like
the girl that needs the bog bag with every single team color. I have like 17 bog bags.
I have like one.
I love that because
I
it's
have
practical.
one.
You also have a practical color, black.
No, it's navy.
Is it
but
navy?
it looks black.
Oh, see, then it's dual.
But see, I would have gotten black, but I would wear everything black.
No.
Obviously. But I don't know.
I need the pink one, the blue one, the purple one, the white one.
See, I feel like Grayson he has more bats than anyone.
Oh, agreed.
Like there's like a bat addiction. And I feel like that's in part due to my husband.
Oh, 100%.
If I get one more email from Dick's like, oh, you got it. Like, no, we didn't.
Packages arrived.
Yeah, the package is on the way. I can't.
See, my husband's really smart. He'll have them delivered almost like the time when he's working from home.
Stop.
So I'm at practice and I see my kids whipping out new bats and I was like, who bought this for you? They're like, Daddy did. And it's like the newest bat. My husband like has all the drops like in his calendar, sets up like
Yes.
calendar or even like alarms in the middle of the night to make sure he gets the bat. That's my husband.
Yeah.
He gets them all the time. And I'm like, dude, each of those bats are like $400 or $500.
I've honestly been lucky though. Like the bats, I'm like, okay, at least he actually uses it.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
It's the sliding mitt. I can't commit.
The oven mitt?
I feel like our child is the only child without.
No, there's a couple other boys on the boys team that the parents are like, you're
I
not
know, but
getting a sliding mitt.
But I feel like we're like in our own little group.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's like $85.
My kid has all the swag. That's why we call him Swaggy B. It's because he loves the swag. He loves all of that.
I know, but he rocks it. Grayson hasn't even asked for one.
Oh, see, that's different.
So I think I'm safe.
Yeah.
When he starts asking for it,
Then you're going to be like, cha-ching, like me.
yeah.
Just sure, add to cart.
So I've kind of like avoided that. But I
Yeah.
feel like your gear is different than others.
You
have the
talking about my
MVP. You have
personally?
the MVP of gear. So I feel like you need to give us like a rundown of
As like the mom, like what to do, like what I
like
bring
all
as a
the
sports
things, all the things that you personally have
mom.
and use
Okay.
because it's
It's a lot.
a
So
list.
we all know I embraced this beautiful gift of a sports mom. It wasn't something that I was like, yes, totally down for. So negotiations with my husband, I was like, if you want me to be the sports mom, I will absolutely love that title. But there's going to be some conditions.
Right.
First of all, I wanted a portable AC unit for the summer days here in Florida. You laugh at me now, but let me
I'm
tell you, when I'm
laughing.
sitting at the stands and
I'm
I have
laughing.
the cold air blowing in my face, you're like, Yuritsa, can I sit with you? And I'm going to be like, of course.
I'm laughing, but I will sit next to you.
Yes, I know. I'm the mom. I have that.
How does that even work?
So it looks like a little cooler and it has like this little blowing like tube thing that sticks out of it and you put ice and water in it and it literally makes like an AC unit and it's just
What?
portable. It's fabulous. You'll see it. You'll see it. It's amazing. So I have that. And then I also have obviously my gigantic speaker, which we all know and love.
Right. But I like that speaker. I feel like you can also
Yeah. I mean,
utilize that for like parties
yeah,
and
like whatever. So we have that. And then I also have my weather pod. I'm a huge fan of the weather pod. People laugh at me, but let me tell you, when you guys are freezing and I'm like toasting my little chair, you're just going to be like, Yuritsa, can I share? And I'm going to be like, sure, come on in.
I feel like the weather pod is like if I don't want to talk to anyone, I'm just gonna
It's
whip them
lovely.
out.
Lovely. So it's exactly that. So
Just-
it's like, have you seen it? Have you seen it?
I've seen
Like a picture.
pictures. I haven't seen your own.
Yeah,
I
so
haven't had
I
that
have
privilege.
like the extra large version because I always
Stop.
because I have my kid, right? Whatever kid's not playing, the other kid needs to
That
be with me.
is that like a parent hack to like make sure your kid is not like
Zipped up.
zipped
Yes,
up and they're
it's
not
like a
running
little
around?
playpen for a 7-year-old. Like it's fabulous. He's like, I mainly use it for my son, right? Because my daughter, she's a little bit older, but for
Right.
Brayden, I have him like sitting there with his iPad and
Stop.
snacks, and he's living his best life. He loves it. He absolutely loves it. So the weather pod, I use it for like rainy days.
Yeah.
I use it for, and people are like, oh my God, what is that? And I'm like, it's my weather pod. And then I've had someone like watch me fold it because I feel like that's the most embarrassing part about the weather pod.
Oh no. Is that like putting away an air mattress?
I think it's worse because it's like a tent, but it's not like a breakdown tent. It's almost like a little personal tent.
Uh-huh.
And then you have to like, you're going to laugh at me, but you have to like fold it on the floor.
Uh-huh.
So it's like laying down. It's
Right.
huge. Then you have to like fold it a certain way, and then you have to turn it halfway and then like roll it and twist it.
I would automatically not buy it just because of that.
Well, when my husband and I first got it, it was so embarrassing because we had no idea how to break it down at the field. And people were like, do you need help? And Patrick behind the scenes is like looking at the YouTube video on how to break it down. Thank God Mark Paul actually made a video. My husband saved it because
Stop.
Mark like actually made one to like help break it down. And Patrick saved it. He's like, here, watch your boy Mark and learn how to do this by yourself. It was so embarrassing.
The next time I see you out with it, I'm gonna just literally we're gonna video you.
Yes.
And you can
I'll give you guys the tutorial. But
Yeah.
so I have the weather pod, and then I just need like a portable fan. Like just give me like a cheap one from Amazon.
Yeah, but you have that little one.
Yeah, like a
that
little
one's like
one.
tiny but mighty. That
Tiny.
thing like
It's like $9. It's
Yeah.
great. They come in different colors, so if you want to like match with your team. But I have them and I bring them to Disney all the time. I just need something to cool. I'm also the glam mom. Like I'm always wearing makeup.
Mhm.
I go to the fields always with makeup, so like I can't have my makeup like melting off my face.
Yeah, and we're very
So,
different because
we are.
I'm wearing makeup for you guys today, but I would 100% I would wear no makeup all the time.
Yeah. Well, you're beautiful.
I
You
like
don't need it.
I don't know what it is. I just like
You like just like the natural.
I don't like to blow dry my hair. I just like to let it air dry. I'm like
Mhm. You're simple.
I'm plain Jane in that way,
I
but
love
I
that.
like my nails done,
Yeah.
just different things.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah. So we're a little different.
a little different, but I like that about us. I don't want us to be the same.
No, could you imagine? We'll be
No.
like, that would be so boring.
But the other thing I like that you have is what's the thing you have with your snacks? Have you used it yet?
The Snackle tackle box?
Yeah.
No, I still haven't used it. I'm actually going to use it this weekend at our
Okay.
tournament. I'm excited to try it, but I bought 2. I don't know why, because I've had one for months and I never used it, but I bought 2 when it was on sale. So I bought 2.
Stop.
And I'm going to try them out. I'm going to try it out for one for Aria, one for Brayden, and
Yeah.
see which one, what they like and how to use it. But yeah, so I have that.
And then you also have
Um,
your nice chair.
I have my nice chair. So I have like the one that rocks back and forth, but it's also like cute and colorful. So it doesn't
Mhm.
get lost in the crowd of like boring black chairs, right?
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like I need the things to make me comfortable.
Right.
When I'm sitting out on the fields for hours in the heat and there's not always going to be shade. Oh, and I do have the umbrella. That's one thing I do.
Yeah.
It's that pink umbrella.
Mhm.
It's like a little beach umbrella that has like a stand that you can also use it on concrete. So it's nice and it just gives us like enough shade for like me and my kid.
Mhm.
And it's fine. It's easy. It's compact. It's not too heavy or anything like that. Just because we don't always get to fit the tent in the truck. Because Patrick has all of the equipment, the balls, and then the
Right.
speaker. Like it's just too much. So I had that little tent or that little umbrella, and that's been like game changer.
Yeah, I love that. I always just bring the big tent.
Oh yeah,
Like I bring the big.
but you're sweet enough that you share with everybody.
Oh yeah, I share it with everybody.
Yeah.
And I bring like a blanket for Callie to hang out with, and like I
Mhm.
try to bring some activities
Yeah.
for her so she's not just randomly roaming
Or bored.
around.
Like, "Mom, can I get a snack?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I make her come with me. Like if we have a tournament on a Saturday, I
Mhm.
know we're out on
Yeah.
Friday after school when I pick them up from the bus stop, we just go to Publix. I'm like, get whatever snacks you want.
Mhm.
Because I don't like buying snacks there. Depending on where we're going, sometimes it's not bad. I trust the concession stand.
I don't.
But other times the concession stand is also a mile hike
Yeah.
to get
I
there.
just don't trust
And
concession
then it
stands.
takes forever. I just would rather have if we're allowed to bring a cooler,
Mhm.
I'd rather just bring the cooler and call it a day.
Yeah. I think concession stands scare me just because I don't know how long I've talked about it. How long has that hot dog or that meat been sitting there forever?
I mean, I don't get that, but I'll get like a pretzel.
How long has it been sitting there?
No, they like put it right in the microwave.
Do they though? I don't know.
I feel
I
like
don't
they
know. I
do.
just can't. I can't do. I'm like, I would be terrified.
This is what I want to know.
Even
is
the
why
bag of
can't
chips are
there
super expensive.
No, but why can't somebody, and maybe this is like a great idea, like let me know. I would love to set this up. Why can't there be a Chick-fil-A or a Jimmy John's or an
Like
actual
like packaged subs.
No,
or
just like even an actual franchise on a baseball field.
Girl, have you seen some of these fields? They barely have a bathroom that operates
I'm just saying.
correctly. There's no way they're gonna bust out with the Chick-fil-A on the field.
I'm just saying there is but some of those fields are super nice.
Yes.
I'm talking about the nicer ones.
Okay. The ones that you have to pay an arm and a leg to go see your kid play?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're trying to tell me we can't get something good to eat?
No, I agree.
I feel like they need to work on that.
Agree.
But like the other ones, I mean, I don't know. Some of the fields though, and we're in Florida, so I don't know where you guys are like listening in and your state is. You have to write us in and tell us. But some of the fields are real sketchy.
Oh, yeah.
Like I call that, what was the one field that we went to and it kept there was like this industrial park behind us. It kept making a weird noise.
It was like the Purge.
It was like, yes, I kept saying like, oh, the Purge.
I was
where's
like,
the
it's going to
Purge?
explode. Where was that? That was like somewhere in,
I don't know,
it was in
but that
Sanford,
was scary.
like
And
Sanford area.
Callie was like, I have to go to the bathroom. And I was like, no.
You had to
Like I
walk,
literally
like, a mile.
drove.
Yeah.
I had to leave the field, like left the game, left the field, had to drive 10 minutes down the road to a McDonald's because the bathroom, remember the bathrooms weren't working.
No, I can't.
They flooded or something.
No, I can't.
It's a little scary.
I just don't understand why the fields are in some of those conditions. I mean, you're paying some of these tournament fees.
They're expensive.
Talking about the finances, I mean, my husband just is starting an organization here in Central Florida, the Central Florida Flamingos, for softball, and he's paying the tournament fees, and they're really expensive per team. It's like $700 plus. It's a lot. I'm like, where's that money going?
I would be interested to know, because if you're in, it's a sanitation issue, right? But don't like, if you are playing on the field, shouldn't you have working bathrooms?
I mean, I would assume so, especially if they're run by the city, right? Or local officials that are running it and keeping it clean. I mean, I feel like that's it, like that.
I don't expect like an attendant in there, but I expect when I walk in that their sewage isn't coming out from the bottom.
They have toilet paper and
do they have toilet paper?
That's a whole other.
But that's why I bring my own soap.
Yes, so tell them about it.
So I found this soap. I forgot what the name is. I'll have to add it. It was from our Amazon link, and it comes in like little packets, and it looks like a paper sheet. And you basically put it in your hand, you pour water in, and it is actual soap. And
it is so good.
It becomes,
foamy,
it like disintegrates.
Like,
and it's like, has like a good foam, a good scrub. It actually gets their hands clean.
Yeah, and it smells good.
Smells good. Yeah. And you just rinse it off with water.
Yeah. That's what I use at the fields ever since you showed that to me.
Yeah.
Like, Braden's like, can I have a snack? Sure, wash your hands. I don't want to walk. Okay, here. And then I just have an empty bottle of water, or not an empty, but a clean bottle of water that I get from home. And I just wash his hands there, and he has his little snack.
I love that. I think it's great. But I mean, financially, I don't understand why the bathrooms don't work.
Yeah. I don't understand that either. We'll have to talk to someone that runs the show.
Or even, and they even have like so many different things now. Like they have those, like, I don't want to call it a porta potty because it's not a porta potty.
They're like the executive ones.
They're like, it's like a trailer.
Yeah.
That you literally just park it, and there's.
Well, that's where it was at the one place with like the Purge sound. That's what it was. It was like an executive porta potty.
No, that was not it.
Yes, it was. And it was like a hot show. It was
that was like a hut.
No, that was the concession stand. That was the hut.
No, it was a little scary.
Yeah. It was really bad.
But I just, yeah, I felt bad. Callie was like, I really have to go to the bathroom. So we have to leave.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't want to leave. And I'm like, yeah, it's not safe
Yeah,
here.
I feel like that part that's annoying when you're paying so much money and it like the
Mm-hmm.
conditions that sometimes you have to play in, it's rough.
Right.
It's rough. I think the other expensive part of it is like the private coachings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is like super expensive.
And that's if you do that. Not
That's
everyone does
yeah,
that.
that's if you
But
but like you're looking at I mean if you want some good coaching and I do believe that it's great to pay for quality coaching,
mm-hmm.
but I mean add it to the tab. Have you the video where like that's mommy's mortgage? That's have you know what I'm talking about? That's mommy's vacation, her holiday.
Yeah.
Like that those little memes with that voiceover, that's what it's like.
Right.
All of your money gets consumed in sports.
And I think it's also you hit a different like bracket of sports when you do competitive.
Oh yeah.
Because, like rec, even Callie with soccer right now, they're like, oh, we want her to do competitive. And I just, no, she's 5. Like I'm not ready for her, for the commitment.
Yeah.
Because then I'm going to be missing out on all the stuff that Grayson does.
Yeah.
And I'm not there yet.
I feel like
I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And it is expensive. And right now I want to enjoy this time. And she's content where she's at. Like she has no idea.
Because she's still really little. But she's going to get
Correct.
to the age like where my kids, because Braden's a little bit older than Callie. He's
Mhm.
going to be 7 in March. But you're going to have that life where you're feeling like you're missing out, but it's not missing out on the kid stuff because you're going to be able to, one weekend you're going to do Grayson, one weekend you'll do Callie, then you're going to do Grayson, then you're going to do Callie. That's kind of like how we are with Ari and Braden.
Right.
What you're going to miss is like just your time for yourself, like as not just you as an individual, but like your just time to just be normal, like a normal family. That's what you're going to miss. And that's something that you really can't buy.
Mm-hmm.
But that part is going to be what your life is going to become.
Right.
That's the hard part.
It's hard. And I think we always try to do a good job about, especially with our team, like with the boys, especially with fundraising and trying to get the dues down and trying to just make it more manageable, right? Because
so what are tips that you can share?
I know for you have 2 in it
Mm-hmm.
and they're both competitive
Mm-hmm.
and they're both very good. So that's, some of our families have like, more than one and it gets really
expensive.
So for me, I think I like to be personable and like meet people in person, which I feel like is very not how people are these days. I feel like people just want to like get a sponsorship through an email and
I hate that.
I
hate that.
I just think it's just not the same effect.
It's not.
And so thanks to you do all of like our marketing stuff, not only for Sports Mom, but like in the sports world with any teams that we are affiliated with.
Yeah.
And you do such a great job to make it look clean and precise and just straight to the point, right? And I think like having that documentation, you made like a nice little sheet, like there's different levels of sponsorship.
Yeah.
And just physically going into the businesses. Hi, I'm Rachel. We'd love if you would be a sponsor in whatever capacity that looks like for you. Because like sometimes they would just give us like gift cards and we would then be able to like pull together something to
Like
make
a
it as like a raffle item.
Yeah.
Some really like doing the give backs like with the business where you basically host your team at a local business and that you get a certain percentage of whatever the sales are.
Yeah.
Which is also pretty good. And it also gets people out together. I mean, I always send stuff to you because I'm like, I know you don't want to cook. And you might as well support us anyway.
I will show up to any kids function. That's not even any of my kids' teams.
Right.
If you send me like, hey, we're going to do so-and-so at Blaze Pizza, I'm there.
But the school does it too.
Yeah.
The school does it too. They have like a great turnout always.
Yeah.
They call them spirit nights.
Yeah. My kids do that too.
So, but they have a great
They
have a great time. So I feel like those are really good. A lot of businesses are also okay just doing a flat sponsorship and just being on your banner.
Yeah. I think it just depends on the type of business and what service or products that they have.
Right.
I think the problem that I have with fundraising is if you just send like a link, like donate to my kid, like that's just, that to me is ick.
Right.
Like it's icky. I feel like there's no personal, like you said, if you go and meet people in person, or like, hey, would you like to be part of like my business? I understand there's so much expense. Life is super expensive. To ask people for money makes me feel weird, like
Mhm.
especially like personal friends and family. So I think going for businesses, like you said, quarters ending, people have marketing money that they need to spend or advertisement money. They'll
Mhm.
go ahead and, you can then take opportunities like that
Right,
and
right.
not only be part of the, like, show off your community, but have them support, a local youth sport team. I think that's a better way of fundraising than just like
Yeah.
putting a link. Other than my
But
mom and
see
dad, I'll send you a link.
but see, like, I also think and this is where I know this is gonna be, like, a little controversial, but
Yes, let's do it.
a
Bring
lot of
it.
parents, when we're doing fundraising events, they don't mind doing a link, but then they want those funds to directly funnel into their child,
Oh,
not as the
yes, as
not
the
as like the
team.
team
Yeah.
whole,
Yeah.
So I know that we've been doing our own research and like
Mhm.
trying to meet other businesses that actually host these fundraising events,
Mhm.
and they take a certain portion of those funds, but then they basically cut you a check. So I know we're
Mhm.
trying to find new innovative ways for fundraising.
Yeah.
Um, but I know that that's a big issue with parents, right?
Mhm.
Like they're like, "Hey, well my grandparents or my parents want to, you know, give little Joey a certain amount of money,
Mhm.
but they don't want it to go towards the team. They want it to go specifically towards the child."
Mhm.
So I think there needs to be almost like a different levels of fundraising. You could do individual teams,
Mhm.
as a team whole where you're looking to buy all the boys bags or like strictly take care of maybe just the tournament fees.
Yeah.
And then there needs to be a separate funding for the individual player.
Mhm.
But then there's also that's hard because then are you really a team if you're separating it out? Because everyone has different financial
Yeah.
situations
Yeah, and their
and
circle fear of, their sphere of influence is very different.
right,
So it's just
exactly.
different, and like, and it's hard when you have one kid that's like super connected versus another that
Right.
the parents are just barely making it to a practice on time, like to ask them to be able to
Hmm.
compare that. Like that's hard and
Right.
balance that. And there has to be something out there.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people just will do the GoFundMe. Like, "Oh, GoFundMe, we're doing this tournament. Can
Yeah.
you can you?" And I mean, people get donations. So I'm like, "You know what? If that's how you want to do it, that's fine." I just wish that there was another way to do both in a sense.
Mhm.
I know growing up, they had things where I sold stuff. Like I
What do you
did you
mean?
like I don't
Like chocolate bars?
maybe it was chocolate bars. I wanted to say it was popcorn.
Like the Boy Scouts?
No,
Well, I know what you mean,
like,
like.
I don't even there was a kid that is in our neighborhood, he came by last week, and
Mhm.
he is trying to raise funds for his, like, choir trip.
Oh,
I guess
cute.
they're going to, like, Washington, DC,
Mhm.
and they partnered with a company that they're selling cookie dough,
Oh, that's
like,
cute.
bins of dough,
Yeah.
and whatever it gets shipped to my house, like,
And that goes straight to the child or to the overall, like,
it goes
choir?
straight to the child.
Okay.
So, like, each child has to raise a certain amount of funds in
Mhm.
order to go.
Mhm.
And then they created this program with this company
Yeah.
to where if they sell a certain amount, then they get the
Get
trip.
the trip. So I think that so for that specific scenario, I would say those funds should go directly to that child
Right.
just because they're working. I mean, they're the ones
Oh,
hustling, door
yeah,
knocking,
yeah.
things like that, versus everyone taking a piece of that little pie. I do think there should be, like you said, a specific fundraiser for like a specific item that you guys are fundraising, whether it's new helmets, new cleats, new bags. I
Right.
think like your registration fee obviously gets paid, but like your uniform,
Uniforms
normally
can be expensive too.
they are really expensive, but I think it all depends on who you order from. Like
Yeah.
recently we've been partnering with a company that has been wonderful, and they've been really great giving us opportunities to kind of see
Hmm.
what the sizing is and colors and stuff like that. And I think that's been great. So you just gotta kind of look out and see and compare pricing, what's included in the bundle. Like, do you
Right.
really need all of those extra bags and the gloves and stuff like that? You probably, see what you need and then kind of see if you can negotiate it. You just need a
Right.
good negotiator.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's hard. I would love to do something even just like we need to like reach out to some brands and just
Mm-hmm.
for the spring have like special fundraising events for parents that want to maybe do a little bit of both, whether it's like
Mm-hmm.
for the team or streamline it for the kids.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of opportunity where they can raise money for their players, and it can
Mhm.
just be buying and selling stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
that kid was just going around our neighborhood,
Mhm.
and he
I'm
was like,
sure he made really good money
"Oh, I
too.
mean, I bought like I was
How
like
much did you buy?
I bought like $40 worth of like cookie
Cookie
dough."
dough? Girl, is this for
Listen,
your cookie party in December?
listen, I no.
That's a break and bake. That's right there. Break and bake.
No,
That
that's
is not
cheating.
that yes, that is
No.
cheating. There's
You
rules to
know,
her party.
I like the dough. It also was bread. It was like breads.
Oh, like sourdough breads and stuff?
No, it was like croissants. It was
Oh.
like croissants. So I got some like, and then there was like biscuits. My
Mhm.
kids love biscuits and gravy. So does my husband. So it's
Yeah.
like biscuits that are frozen, and then you just like put them in, and they're almost like they have like a fresh bake.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm just like, you know what, like holidays are coming. It's always
Yeah.
good to have that. And then
Extra
I
stuff, yeah.
figured the kids could make shapes with the cookie
Mhm.
dough. You know, they
Yeah.
roll it out.
And
they
then
make
just
little
more
shapes. It's just
cookie
like,
cutters.
but yeah,
Just an activity to do.
I didn't
But
get all
see,
cookie dough. I did have to
I
mix
was
it
about to
up.
say $40 a cookie dough.
But
That's
like
wild.
I previously, like a couple years ago, bought one of those tubs, and anytime I just had some friends coming over, I would
Mhm.
literally just like scoop out the dough, throw it in the oven, and like, hey, your house smells incredible. But
Mhm.
who doesn't like a fresh, warm chocolate chip cookie?
Yeah. I love that.
And it was always just nice to have on hand,
Yeah.
you know?
Mhm.
Even with kids. I mean, I feel like our house is just like a
Constant,
revolving
yeah.
door of
People going in and
people
out.
going in and out. So it's
Yeah.
just nice to have something that I don't have to physically make it.
It's just there.
It's a prep thing.
Yeah.
And I was happy to help him. I mean, he was close. I
Good
saw
for
his little
him.
order form. It looked like
Oh,
he was getting close
so
to his
cute. Don't you?
goal.
And I think that's so good for them to learn that. Just a little boy doing it, the
Oh,
confidence of
it
like
was
knocking
cute.
up to someone
The parents were like on the
behind.
sidewalk, and they
Yeah.
were just like
So
there, and
proud.
he was there with his little like sheet,
Oh,
and he
his
gave
little
me
like
a little
elevator
spiel.
pitch.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was, and they were like, "Thank you so much for being kind and answering the
Oh,
door." And I told him, I said, "You spoke very well. That's what I'm going to
yeah.
buy from you. You did a great
You
job,
did a great job.
And he did.
Yeah. I think that is really good. Like, when you take your kids to like Publix and they do like the little like the whatever at the table, they have
Yeah.
like the table of like products, like,
Mhm.
whatever. That would be a great opportunity for fundraising. If your local grocery store allows you to do that, that's another opportunity. And I think it builds confidence in the kids
Oh yeah, I've
to
seen
walk
that.
up
There
to
was a
people
softball
and
team this past weekend actually
yeah.
there
Yeah. We've
raising
seen
funds.
what other fundraising ideas? I've seen kids walking around with like flowers around
Mhm.
like Mother's Day
Yes.
at a tournament, and they're doing fundraising for their team at another tournament with other teams around, and they'll just go around selling little bundles of flowers for their kids. That's really cute.
They also partnered, I know South Orlando had partnered with
Poppy
yes,
Poppy flower. Yeah, my
and
friend
they
Lauren owns it.
and they
Yeah,
had done like a super cute, like she had put out her
her
truck,
little flower
and
truck. Yeah,
whatever you purchased, like a certain amount went to the
yeah,
softball team. And I
yeah.
think you just have to reach out and ask people,
Yeah,
they're
there's
usually
businesses out
willing.
there that want to do this
Yeah,
stuff.
they really are. They want to get out there, and
Yeah.
I think it's great. I think I like the personal aspect of it,
Mhm.
and like being in people's faces more as
Yeah.
opposed to just, you know.
Asking, coding a link, like,
Yeah,
I mean, I understand it. You obviously can touch the masses there, but it just
right.
loses that personal touch. I feel like building those relationships. I mean, even you being PTA, having all those relationships when you do
Well, I
teacher.
do one thing. I'm not
Listen,
PTA.
she does the whole like teacher appreciation week for her kids' school, and she does a phenomenal job. But you do a phenomenal job because you put so much effort into making those relationships with your local community. And it's not even just like small businesses. I mean, you go corporate, you go to Publix, you go to
Yeah.
all of these, like Ale House is a great partner for you.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's just about establishing those relationships and nurturing them. Don't just
Right.
use them for a donation or use them for whatever you need. Like, be kind and just
Right.
get to know them.
We also, like, one of the things, and I work with Elise on that every year.
Mhm.
And I think the key is that you have to get a good partner that wants to like hit the pavement with you.
Mhm.
So like finding that other mom that wants to do the fundraising,
Yeah.
because fundraising is really hard.
Mhm.
And you 9 times out of 10 are going to get a lot more no's, but those few yeses are going to help you so much more
Yeah.
financially get what you need.
Yeah.
And so I think you just have to find another mom that
Is willing to get in it with
isn't
you.
shy.
Yeah.
and is willing to talk to people.
That's me.
But it's like willing to talk to people and just put themselves out there and
Yeah.
help you.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of opportunities, and especially if you're local. And then I think it's also a key fundraising thing so that they remember you is get a picture of your team
Oh, that's
during
good.
like a championship or something that was maybe like a crucial point in that season,
Mhm.
and sending them like a plaque. You can get those plaques done and they as like a thank you.
Mhm.
And I think that really just sets the bar to a different level,
Yeah.
and they always post it
Yeah, they
in their
appreciate
business and
it.
they love it.
Yeah.
So I think it's not always just about the fundraising, the asking, but also like, what's your thank you?
Mhm.
You know, how
That
are they
makes a
going to
huge
remember
difference.
you? And that is also part to like where you were about like establishing that relationship,
Mhm.
because it makes it so much more. And then when you walk in, you're like, oh my goodness, I'm so excited. And,
Yeah.
we have businesses that have always fundraised for us and done
Mhm.
special stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know if we're local and we have a tournament, I'm like, hey guys, let's go to this restaurant.
They always take
We're
good
gonna go
care of
out to
us.
eat anyway,
Yeah, might as well
right?
just go to a place
Might
where
as
you
well
have the
go to some place
connections.
that,
Use those
help us
connections.
out. Let's
Yeah,
help them out.
you have
And
to.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really important. I think not everyone understands the whole fundraising. They hear fundraising and they're instantly like
Oh yeah. People tell me all the time, they're like,
overwhelmed
I
or
don't know how
like
you do it. Like, I've had people even tell me, hey, can you fundraise for me? And I'm like, I can't. I can't
stop.
do that.
You should have a little side business, like
I
a little
could I
hustle.
can help you and I can guide
Guide
you
you,
as to
but I
what to
can't do
do.
it.
Yes. And then people be like, well, can I have that person's email or contact information?
That's
And you
hard.
know how I am.
You
I'm
are you
like,
keep those contacts near and dear.
and I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't.
You
Because
can't
they gave
though.
me that information and I've established that relationship with them. And if they wanted their information to be out there, it would be public.
Public. It would have been known.
Right? So it's hard. But I think it's just you have to just rip off the band-aid, just go out there, start talking to people, but
Mhm.
also like talk to your parents.
Yeah.
Get the parents on board. Have like not necessarily a PowerPoint presentation, but just break it down. Like, hey, we're doing all these tournaments.
Mhm.
These are the costs associated, and this is what we're trying to raise. And
Yeah.
you'll be surprised how many people will say,
Oh, we can do this. Like,
oh, I
I'll
have an
jump in, or I
uncle,
know
or
someone.
yes. And
I
I,
think when you break it down, because when
yeah,
you see this, like the cost, when you really see if you're in a really good organization, they have everything super transparent. You're gonna be
yes,
like, wow, I didn't realize that your rentals for your fields are gonna be costing XYZ, especially if the field doesn't have lights.
right.
Because that's a huge expense. That's a personal expense that the coaches or parents need to take so those kids can play in the dark. We are going through that right now. Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
a lot. And
Yeah,
people don't understand how expensive that stuff is. And it's not even anything that benefits really, but it actually does because you need the lights in order to see.
right.
So when you break down all of those expenses and people can actually see, they're like, oh, but then when you break down the goal even further down to smaller little increments, it's even
Mm-hmm.
more easier to reach and meet those goals.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I think it's being transparent so the parents know where the
Mhm.
money's going. Because
Yeah.
then it's like the umpires. We didn't talk about that. Like
Oh
we
my
got to pay
gosh,
them,
yes. It's like
and
a deal every time you go
yes,
at the
and
field. They're
there's
like, you got the cash, you got the
yeah,
cash.
and but
Yeah.
it's all those little things that it truly adds up,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of money, but
It
it's
is.
and it's worth it, and you can make the finances work for you.
Yeah.
You can manipulate it to where it's not a huge expense, whether you're
Mhm.
paying dues monthly or tournaments. There's a
Mhm.
whole bunch of opportunities out there. You just got to find out what's going to work for you and your
Mhm.
team.
Yeah. That's all you can do is just kind of search and see what works and fits for you guys, and don't get out there. Don't get out there. Don't be scared
Yeah,
to get out there is what I meant to say.
right. And just be creative.
Yeah.
Be creative.
Do the raffles. I mean, during the holidays is like the best time because you can do like we do like alcohol giveaways, like for like a
Right.
really nice bottle of whatever.
Like a unique bourbon that they can't find.
Yeah, like stuff like that.
And and you just do the raffle. It's like
and
$5 to win the
and you'll be
bottle. Yeah.
surprised how much that, for example, that bottle went for a lot of money.
Yeah.
And it's just like amazing to see how much people are willing to participate. Football is another time. Super Bowl, you can do like the little
Oh, the
football
squares.
squares.
Yeah.
That's another one that's really hot and popular. Um, I don't know. There's just so
There's
much.
there's a lot, and there's a lot of things you can go online and just find brands, like I
Mhm.
said, just that will partner with you and your team, and
Yeah.
you just do the sale.
Yeah, like Papa John's, we did that for Arya's team last year.
Yeah.
They did a little card. You pay like $15 for the card, and for the next year, any 18 transactions, no matter the limit, was half off. I
I
mean,
have
for
that card,
someone, yeah, I think you bought one from
and
Arya.
I think I bought more than one because I gave it out as gifts to, like, some
Yeah,
of my moms, like,
yeah.
that
They use it or they love
they
Papa
use
John's.
it,
Like, it's just
or we just
nice.
are at their house a lot in the
Yeah.
summer and ordering pizza. I'm like,
Pizza,
"Here you
here,
go."
here you go. Here's the card. It's just, and it's convenient and useful versus just like a link that you just give money to.
Right.
I
I
think
feel
if
like
there's something in return.
food-related stuff, people are more willing to spend it,
Yeah. I
right?
mean, yeah.
Because you gotta eat.
You gotta eat.
You gotta eat,
I'm all
so
about products. Like whatever's
I know.
cute. Whatever's cute. Like if it's cute, I'll buy it. If it's gonna like add to my accessories, for sure.
I know.
You
That's
know?
why everyone has to go onto our Sports Mom boutique
Yes.
and do some shopping, so that way you guys are looking fresh for the fields.
I know. And we have really cute variety of stuff on
I
there
know.
too, which is like you can see our little styles are very different, but they work well together.
We do. Well, anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. And if you have any tips and maybe something that works for you, let us know
Yeah,
what state
share.
you're at, and then let us know what you do for fundraising and if
Yeah.
that's like really beneficial and you think
We love
we
to
need
hear
to
from
know
you
about
guys.
it.
Like, we really love to hear from you. We've had a lot of love on TikTok and Instagram lately saying, hey, I'm out from Texas listening in. We had people listening in Japan. I mean, it's just so fun and interesting to see you guys. Even though we can't physically meet you, just hearing from you guys just means the world to us. So thank you guys so much for listening.
Bye.
Bye.